Hello friends, this is Triven Kumar. I am working as a physics lecturer in Vignan Junior College, Vadlamudi. Today I would like to tell about coefficient of restitution. Coefficient of restitution can be indicated by alphabet small e. Okay, initially consider there are two objects, first object having mass m1 and second object having mass m2. Before collision, these two objects having velocities u1 and u2. After some time, these objects are collided. Why? Because of the velocity of the first object is more than the velocity of the second object. Due to the more velocity of the first body, these two objects are collided at a particular time. This is during collision, and this is before collision. Now, after collision, these two objects are moving with a velocity v1 and v2. Due to the collision, the masses of the object does not change. Here, the objects are moving along the same direction like this. Now, to define the coefficient of restitution, simply it is a ratio between relative velocity of the separation after collision, it is v2 minus v1 by, and relative velocity of approaching before collision, it is u1 minus u2. It can be say like that: coefficient of restitution is the ratio of relative velocity of separation after collision to the relative velocity approaching before collision. Here v2 minus v1 is the relative velocities of separation after collision by u1 minus u2 is the relative velocity of approaching before collision. And this coefficient of restitution does not having any units and dimensional formula. It is a just number. For a perfectly elastic collision, the value of E is 1, and for a perfectly inelastic collision, the value of E is 0. For other collisions, the value of E is in between 0 and 1. Okay, this is about introduction of coefficient of restitution. Determination of coefficient of restitution. Okay, how we can determine the coefficient of restitution? Simply it is, let us consider to determine the coefficient of restitution between the two bodies, in which one body has heavy metal surface and other body has a small sphere. Here we can determine the coefficient of restitution between a heavy metal sphere, heavy metal surface and a small sphere. Let us consider there is a heavy metal surface like this. On this heavy metal surface, a small sphere is dropped from a height h1. Now this small sphere is at a height h1. From this height, this sphere can be dropped like a freely falling body. This small sphere, on hitting this heavy metal surface, it rebounds to a height some h2. Okay. Now according to definition of the coefficient of restitution, it is E equals to relative velocity of separation after collision. It is V2 minus V1 by relative velocity approaching before collision. It is U1 minus U2. Here let us consider the first object as a small sphere and the second object as a heavy metal surface. Now this small sphere, on hitting the heavy metal surface, the metal surface does not get any velocity after the collision and it having no velocity before collision. That's why the velocities of the metal surface before and after collision is U2 equals to V2 equals to 0. By substituting these two values in the above formula of coefficient of restitution, it is simply E equals to minus V1 by U1. Okay, here U1 is the velocity of the sphere at here. Here it is U1. This sphere having the velocity on hitting this surface, it having some velocity U1. And V1 is the velocity of the small sphere after hitting the surface. Here the small sphere is dropped from a height h1. Dropping means initially its velocity is 0, but on reaching the metal surface, dropping from a height h1, on hitting the metal surface, just before hitting the metal surface, it having some velocity u1. After hitting the metal surface, it having the velocity v1, like that. Now from the kinematic equations, we having the formula v square minus u square equals to 2as. Initially, in the first case, here the velocity of the small sphere is 0 initially. It is v square minus 0 square is equals to 2 into, for a freely falling body, a equals to g. At here, the displacement travelled by the object is nothing but its height, s equals to h1. By substituting the values, in the place of a as g, in the place of s it is h1. Now v equals to under root 2g h1. Okay, here the small sphere having initial velocity u, at here it having the final velocity u1. So here the final velocity is nothing but u1 equals to under root 2g h1. Now by substituting this value at here, it is by substituting the value of u1 in the formula of coefficient of restitution, it is E equals to minus of v1 by u1, it is under root 2g h1. Okay, now what is the value of the v1? Okay, here the sphere rises to a height h2. Again, from this kinematic equation we can conclude that v1 equals to under root 2g h2. But here v1, the direction of the velocity of the small sphere after collision is like this. It rebounds from the heavy metal surface. Before collision, the velocity of the u1 is in downward direction. After collision, the small sphere rises to a height h2 in the upward direction. Due to the opposite direction, there is a negative sign. By substituting the value of v1, it is E equals to minus of minus under root 2g h2 by under root 2g h1. By solving this equation, we can conclude that E equals to under root h2 by h1. This is the determination of coefficient of restitution in case of the one body as a large heavy metal surface and other body as a small sphere. Now equation for the height attained by the freely falling body after number of rebounds on the floor. Okay, let us consider this is a floor. An object is initially at a height h0. This is the initial height attained by the freely falling body. Okay, now on hitting the ground, this sphere again rebounds to a height some h1. This is the height attained by the freely falling body after first rebounds. At here it having some height h1. After it reaches to a height h1, again it falls like a freely falling body from the height h1 and again rebounds to a height h2. After again it rebounds to a height h2. From this height, this small sphere again falls like a freely falling body and rebounds to a height some h3. Okay, at here initially on hitting the ground it having some velocity v1, v At here it having some velocity v1, here v2 and here v3. Now we have to find out the equation for height attained by the freely falling body after number of rebounds on the floor. At first rebound, it attains a height h1. At the second rebound, it attains a height h2. At third rebound, it attains to a height h3 and so on. At nth rebound, it attains to a height some h1. Okay. Now the formula for the coefficient of restitution. Here the two bodies are, one is this small sphere and the second one is this heavy surface. On hitting this small sphere, the heavy surface does not get any velocity. Therefore, before and after collision, this heavy surface does not having any velocity. Now, the formula for the coefficient of restitution between the two bodies is, it is nothing but the ratio between relative velocity of the separation after collision to the relative velocity of the approaching before collision. Once again, here also the first object is this small sphere and the second object is this large heavy surface. Here, before and after collision, the second body, which is heavy surface, does not having any velocities. That's why before collision and after collision, this large heavy surface does not having any velocity. By substituting these values, once again the coefficient of restitution is E equals to minus V1 by U1. Okay. Now at here the object falls from the height h0. On hitting the ground, it having some velocity. Initially the freely falling body having zero velocity, and we having the kinematic equation like v square minus u square equals to 2as. Of course, it is a freely falling body, that's why its initial velocity is zero, and for a freely falling body, the acceleration due to gravity g, and it falls from a height h0. Here h0 is nothing but the displacement travelled by the object. It is 2g h0. Okay, from this v square equals to 2g h0 and v equals to under root 2g h0. Okay, in our formula, coefficient of restitution is minus v1 by u1. Minus v1. Here v1 is the velocity of the small sphere after collision. u1 is the velocity of the small sphere before collision. Here before collision, just before collision, it having some velocity v. It is nothing but u1. Okay. Here by observing this, before collision it having the velocity v. Why? Because of it is, we assuming that it is initial velocity u equals to 0 for a freely falling body. On hitting the ground, it having some velocity, it is v. But in our formula, before collision, the velocity of the small sphere is u1. Of course, it is nothing but u1. Okay, by substituting this value, E equals to minus v1 by under root 2g h0. Okay, from this v1 equals to minus E into under root 2g h0. Now for the first rebounds, This is the first rebounds condition. Here the object rises to a height h1 from the surface. Okay, at here it having the velocity, it is minus e into under root 2g h naught. And we having the kinematic equation like v square minus u square equals to 2as. For the first rebounds, it is like a vertically projected body. In case of vertically projected body, on reaching the maximum height, it having velocity 0 minus u square. This is the initial condition of the body for the first rebounds, and this is the final condition of the body for the first rebounds. At the final condition, it reaches to a maximum height. At there the velocity is 0. At initially it having the velocity v1. Okay, here u is nothing but v1, and we having the v1 as minus e into under root 2g h naught. On squaring it, it is e under root 2g h naught whole square equals to 2as. 2 into, in case of a vertically projected body, acceleration is nothing but minus g and s, displacement travelled by the body in the first rebounds. In the first rebounds, the displacement travelled by the sphere, small sphere, is h1. Okay, on solving this, it is minus of e square into 2g h naught equals to minus 2g h1. Okay, by cancelling the common terms, minus 2g, simply it is h1 equals to h naught into e square. Okay, similarly, for the second rebounds, it is in the form like h naught into e power 2 into 1. Here, 1 is nothing but for the first rebounds, and for the second rebounds, it is h2 equals to h naught into e power 2 into 2. Simply it is h naught into e power 4. Similarly, for the third rebounds, it is h3 equals to h naught into e power 2 into 3, it is 6. For the nth rebounds, the height attained by the freely falling body in the nth rebounds is hn equals to h naught into e power 2 into, for the first rebounds it is 2 into 1, for the second rebounds it is 2 into 2, and for the third rebounds it is 2 into 3, for the nth rebounds it is 2 into n. Okay, this is the height attained by the freely falling body after number of rebounds on the floor. Okay, now the expression for the total distance travelled by the ball before stops its bouncing. Total distance travelled by the ball before stops its bouncing. Here, distance means actual path travelled by the object. Here, initially, the sphere falls from a height h naught and rebounds to a height, after hitting the ground, it rebounds to a height h1. Then, from this position, from the height h1, it again falls like a freely falling body and rebounds to a height h2. From here, Again it falls like a freely falling body and rebounds to a height h3. From this height, again the ball falls like a freely falling body and rebounds to a some height. Okay, here the total distance traveled by the ball before it stops the bouncing is d equals to, distance is nothing but actual path traveled by the object. Initially it covers the distance h naught plus, on hitting the ground it rises to a height h1 and again falls from the height h1. Here the height h1 is covered by the ball in 2 times. Similarly 2h2 plus 2h3 and so on. Now by substituting the values, total distance equals to h naught plus 2 into h1. We having the formula of h1 as h naught into e square plus 2 into h2. It is the formula like h naught into e power 4 plus again 2 into h3. It is the formula like h naught into e power 6 plus and so on. By observing this series, there is a common term d equals to, there is a common term h naught. By getting common h naught, it is 1 plus 2 e square plus 2 e power 4 plus 2 e power 6 plus and so on. Okay, and from the second term there is a common term like 2e square. Okay, by getting common 2e square from the second term, it is d equals to h naught into 1 plus 2e square. By getting common, it is 1. By getting common 2e square, here 1 plus here e square plus here e power 3, okay, sorry, e power 4 plus and so on. Okay, this is a series in the form like a geometric progression. Why? Because of there is a common ratio of e square. Okay, here e square by 1 is e square, e power 4 by e square is nothing but e square. There is a common ratio. If any series having the common ratio, then that series is in geometric progression. For infinite series, the formula for the geometric progression is first term by 1 minus common ratio. Okay, and the formula is simply d equals to h naught into 1 plus 2 e square into the series in the form of a geometric progression, in which the first term is a equals to 1 and there is a common ratio is e square by 1 or e power 4 by e square. It is e square. By substituting these values, this is the formula for the sum of infinite series in the geometric progression. It is d equals to h naught into 1 plus 2 e square into a is nothing but the first term, it is 1 by 1 minus r is the common ratio, it is 1 minus e square. Okay. On solving this, d equals to h naught into 1 plus 2 e square into 1, 2 e square by 1 minus e square. This implies here 1 minus e square is the LCM. Okay, 1 minus e square into 1, 1 minus e square plus 2e square. From this equation we got total height, total distance travelled by the freely falling body before stops it bouncing is h naught into 1 plus e square by minus e square plus 2e square, it is plus e square by 1 minus e square. This is the expression for the total distance travelled by the freely falling body just before stops its bouncing.